昔々、あるところに名前のない怪物がいました。
Whenever I look for anime to watch, I normally do a few things. I either go on Mal and see what's top rated, or I see a panel or a moment that just makes me want to read and understand more. And for Monster, it was this panel that made me want to discover more. I'd heard about Monster before and I knew the basic plot, but something about this panel made me want to understand everything about it. How did Johan become the monster he is today? How did Dr. Tema get to this point? How is it all going to be resolved? While Monster can be described as a simple battle between good and evil, it dives deeper into the sense that evil lies within all of us, that it is driven from hopelessness, pessimism, and the unfortunate reality that life is truly unfair. The crux of this is represented through the character of Johan. Johan Lippert is the epitome of nihilism. He's someone who has lost all hope in this world and whose trauma has caused him to believe that there is no good or love left. And for the most part, Johan is right. The world of Monster is shown to be a cruel and unforgiving place, rife with evil, abuse, and immoral behaviour. Johan's childhood is a direct example of this, and it's truly where the seeds of his nihilistic views were sowed. The catalyst for Johan's spiral into pessimism and what ultimately causes the birth of the monster begins with his mother's decision on whether to give up Anna or himself to a psychological experiment. While Johan wasn't the one chosen for the experiment, the decision itself caused Johan to spiral. He wasn't sure if his mother was trying to protect him or if his mother confused him for his sister.
どっちいらなかったのはどっち
His mother's decision to pick one of her children to sacrifice destroyed Johan's innate sense of love and gave birth to Johan's belief that lives are only equal in death. If Johan's mother had stood her ground and refused to sacrifice her children, perhaps things would have been better for Johan, but she didn't. And not only did it question his beliefs of the world, but also whether his mother even loved him. This is depicted when Johan projects himself onto Milos, questioning whether his mother would even recognize him, whether his mother even wants him. Johan also projects his own nihilistic views of the world, questioning his point of living.
別に普通のことじゃないのよ。生まれてきたことはこの宇宙のほとんどが死なんだから。この宇宙にとっては地球の片隅で生まれた命なんて存在自体ほんの一瞬にもならないわ。死が普通なの。じゃあなぜ生きるの？誰かに望まれたから。あなたは誰に望まれたの？あなたが生きる理由って何？
In addition, Johan's traumatic experiences in the orphanage Kinderheim 511, as well as his experience in the Red Rose Mansion, brainwashed him and raised him to be a superior pupil, slowly causing him to lose his individuality and hope for this world. This is further expressed through Johan's original goal to be the last one alive when the world ends, for the world to be rid of names and other forms of individualism, for everyone to feel his loneliness, despair, and lack of hope for this world, or in simple terms, for him to destroy all of mankind. Despite this, there's initial reluctance from Johan while at Kinderheim 511. He rejects the idea of becoming a monster and is afraid of losing himself to the cruelty and trauma that he has been subjected to as a child, with his only hope being through Anna.
お願い、アンナを忘れさせないで。世界にはアンナと僕二人だけなんだ。この記憶だけはお願い。
Yet, the final nail in the coffin for Johan is when he awakens from his surgery and is rejected by the only person he has any sort of connection and love to. So, what does Monster say we should do in order to fight nihilism? The first thing that Monster suggests is that we should enjoy the little things such as hedonistic pleasures. We can choose to find love, form social bonds, or even enjoy simple things like coffee. This is expressed through Mr. Rosso's character arc, who gives up being an assassin after witnessing a man enjoying his coffee. On the contrast, you have Johan, who doesn't enjoy a single hedonistic pleasure. When renowned tea is brought before him, he feels nothing, calling back to Mr. Rosso's quote that,
人殺しなんて簡単だ。砂糖の味を忘れればいい。
expressing that when you forget the sweetness of life and lose hope, it's easy to become a mindless killer. The second thing that Monster suggests is existentialism, creating your own meaning in a meaningless world. This is pretty apparent when Johan ditches his initial goal of destroying the world in place of killing Franz Bonaparte, the person who separated his parents, the person who made his mother choose between her children, and the same person who ruined the chance of Johan having a normal life. In that short period of time, chasing for Franz Bonaparte, Johan found meaning.
夢から覚めたんだ。
何のために僕は何人も殺したんだ。
たくさんの終わりの風景。でも今は違う風景が見えるんだ。本当の終わりの風景。
Yet, the strongest solution that monsters suggest to us is that the solution to nihilism is love.
憎悪、虚無、破壊衝動、闇に取り込まれない人間を作りたかった。どうやると思うね。
愛情。ペドロフさん、それは親が子に向けるごく普通の自然なことだ。
At the core of Monster is a clash of beliefs and ideals between Johan and Dr. Temma. At every single level, Johan and Dr. Temma are fundamental opposites. Johan believes that humans are only equal in death, whereas Dr. Temma views that all lives are equal. Through this, Johan seeks to push Dr. Temma to lose his faith in his humanity and succumb to Johan's nihilistic and pessimistic view of the world. He wants to make himself so irredeemable to prove to Dr. Temma that his beliefs are wrong, that he shouldn't have saved him that day, going against his doctor's oath and realizing that sometimes life is not worth preserving. This is depicted when Johan forces Temma to choose between Wim's life or his own, to prove that even when it comes down to it, even Temma is capable of being a monster and taking a life. It's why Johan views dying to Dr. Temma's hand as the perfect suicide. It'd mean being erased from a meaningless world, but also it'd break the soul of Temma and prove his nihilistic philosophy is correct. It's why he is often so carefree about his own death, and why he often even encourages Temma to shoot him. Yet, it isn't Temma who shoots him, rather an ordinary man who is just trying to protect his son. Something Johan never had. Temma's final decision to perform surgery on Johan and save him again after knowing what Johan is capable of was a profound act of love. The man initially on the hunt to murder Johan had saved his life once again. Temma was never a monster. He never believed lives were above each other. He truly believed all lives were equal. And this ultimate act of love is what truly destroyed the monster within Johan. He was finally proved wrong. The first time Temma saved Johan, Temma saved his life. But the second time Temma saved Johan, he saved his soul. To be honest, I haven't read the sequel Another Monster, but in my head, I think Johan, just like the Magnificent Steiner, became human again. What Johan did is unforgivable and inexcusable, and he should pay for everything he did. But despite that, I do hope that Temma's love and kindness changed him as a person, and finally destroyed his nihilistic view of the world. I hope one day he is able to taste the sweetness of sugar.